If you want to know if you have a bad wheel bearing, that sound is the rattling of this thing here. Doesn't make any sound when it's rolling. It's pretty smooth. It does a small shimmying when it reaches about 30 miles an hour for about 3 miles an hour, and then it just stops. It's a Toyota 4Runner. I think it's the 06. I'll verify that, but I'm gonna change out the wheel bearings on it. Okay, it's really bad. I could shake it without even trying. So take the wheel off, that's number one. Have to take off the brakes and then start taking off the rotor and going that way. All right, I took the caliper off just by taking out the two main bolts, took off the complete caliper, took out the bolt that was holding the bracket, and I'm just gonna put everything back in their place. So when I come back, I'm not looking for bolts. These two came off of back here, one up and one down. So put them back in. I got my wire holding up the caliper. Have to make sure you keep all the stress off, because you have this one line right here, goes down, something on the back. It could be a speed sensor, could be something, so I'm gonna check into that later. And you don't want to have any strain pulling out on your hose. That's your last line of defense right there. All right, so the caliper is off now. Once you take it off, all right, start taking off more pieces. All right, I'm taking off the hub section. It's a 17 millimeter, but you need some leverage. So I hook that in there like that and break them loose. I'll take off the, I took this one off already, so two at the bottom, and then take this thing out. What I'm doing now is just putting my pry bar in there and pushing it, and that's all it took. These are a lot easier to work on than like your four-wheel drives or your cars. This one's just basically on the outside. All right, they went down the road to go get that part. So now all I have to do is get this out. So go ahead and figure that one out. But I don't know if they're buying the whole thing. I'm not sure what they're getting. But you have a little dimple here, and then this is a big nut. So I'll just take it apart. Whatever they got, I'll work with it. Okay, they're still gone, but they told me that it's a complete hub that they're bringing, so I don't even have to separate the other one. It'll actually be just like this. And you just put it back in. 4 bolts, torque them. I'll usually put a little blue lock thread on it. So I'll go ahead and take the other side off. I jacked it up right there, then I'll put my stand under it, and that's it. Take the other one off. All right, get the part number, and they're the same, different. So they just brought it here. Okay, it's the whole piece. So that's good. We'll go ahead and get into that. Alright, we have a different type of lock. A lock nut. Easier one to take off. I put a dab of this. I put some soap water around the seal and just pop it in. The bolts already came with it. So that's all. Putting it back on. You have a little dimple right in this section here. And you have two sections has a dimple. One there, one over there. That goes right there, and the caliper faces right here. So this goes in just like that. Lock it down. You have to keep your regular cap and just put the cap back in place right here. So you just continue. Everything is tightened up. The blue lock thread, and just put everything back together. Okay, to put the cap back in, you take a socket and hammer it back in. Take the pads out of the brakes, out of the caliper, so it goes on. Make sure the shield isn't touching, and then we'll put the brakes back in now. Okay, don't forget to put the little clip in. That's how the clip goes. The little Carter pins on the tips of those two gold colors. Don't forget the bolt, the little 12 millimeter that holds everything together. And then this side is done. Don't forget to remove the wire. Everything is tight. It's a new hub. Put on the seal. Make sure all your little clips are in. It's a little clip there, and down there's one. This side didn't have to take apart. It had enough gap to slip back over. So I'll put some anti-seize on the threads now and put it back together. The other side is done. So both sides are done. Don't forget the wire. And that's it. Thanks for watching.